I've been hearing some bullshit lately about how I'm too soft on Trump. Need some Viagra for Trump. And I call it bullshit, not just because, that's how I colloquially speak about shit, but because it is bullshit. If you ask me for my frank assessment of Trump, I'll tell you that he's outright got some serious fucking problems. Not as bad, I'd say, as George W. Bush, but he's got some issues. The first and foremost issue in my mind is his denial of climate science and his recent gag order against government scientists sharing their climate findings with the American people. I mean, our tax dollars are paying for that research into the grave and serious matter of climate change, and now we're not even allowed to hear the results of their findings? How's that for fucking transparency? What's he gonna do next? He's gonna deny the sun? There's no sun, it's just a 2 million watt bulb on a really long string held up by God. Any scientist who studies the sun needs to keep their research to themselves if it contradicts the light bulb hypothesis. It's that level of ridiculous, is my point. Many of Trump's appointments are terrible. He's got a climate change denier heading up the EPA. He's got a labor secretary whose own company has a terrible track record with workers and who doesn't even believe in minimum wage, let alone that it should be raised. If there was like a Department of Hamburger Security, Trump would probably appoint the fucking Hamburglar to head it up. By the way, there should be a Department of Hamburger Security because, we got to protect our hamburgers. First and foremost, above all else. Look, my point is that Trump isn't my vision of a great president. He's far from it. So why do I have this reputation in some circles as being soft on Trump? Well, it's really just because I haven't drank the Democrat Kool-Aid. I don't have this pathological aversion to Trump to the point where I now support TPP because he's against it. Because I've literally seen liberals and progressives defend TPP now. An agreement that would have given corporations carte blanche to fuck us in even more ways than they already do. Here's just one example of what TPP would have done, and this is among many fucking examples. I just want to stress to you how bad it is. If you're like a town in America and you want to ban fracking from your town because you think it sucks, under TPP, you'd have no right to do that. And you'd lose the right to even sue the oil company in many instances. Does that sound like something that liberal progressives should support? No. No, it does not. That's corporatist, globalist bullshit. And that's giving special deference to big business and telling the average person to go fuck themselves. But a lot of liberals are now acting like TPP was a great thing. Why? Because Trump killed it. Trump's against it, so it must be good. They have this pathological hatred for Trump and all that Trump does, and the results are that they just, Trump went left, we go right. That's stupid. It reminds me of the way that Republicans, including Trump, by the way, hate Obamacare. They hate it. It's so bad. It's so wrong. It's so evil. It was their idea. The Heritage Foundation cooked that shit up in response to a Democratic push in the early 90s to create universal health care. That was their alternative. It was first put into practice in Massachusetts by a Republican governor named Mitt Romney, who himself turned on Obamacare after Obama embraced it. This isn't politics born out of principle, everybody. It's politics born out of knee-jerk opposition. Like, the opponent did this, well, we must do this. The opponent said that, well, we disagree. Even if it makes sense. And now it's the liberals' turn to oppose things just because Trump supports them, or support things just because Trump opposes them. But that's not even approaching rational. That's basically saying, I refuse to think about these issues in a mature and reasonable way. I just want to play for a team. I just want to pick a side in this big, distracting fucking culture war. I want to be divided against my fellow man. And if my enemy starts to agree with me on something, I'll change my position rather than allow myself to have common ground with him. That's disgusting, everybody. That's fucking contemptible. And it's everywhere. It's left, It's right. It's both sides of every issue and every argument that happens on a cultural level. When you think as a group and you make decisions as a group based on loyalty to a group, rather than thinking independently and honestly about issues, that's what fucking happens. It's us versus them. In group versus out group. Our good versus their evil. Meanwhile, at the highest fucking levels of these groups, they're chums. They sit around smoking cigars together and laughing as we squabble over petty bullshit and ignore the real travesties being perpetuated against us on a daily basis. What I'm really telling all of you, the people who love Trump, the people who hate Trump, both of you guys, is that Trump is a big, gaudy, flashing neon sign. That's what he is, with some incendiary shit written on it. And you're supposed to look at the sign and go, whoa, fuck this sign. Or, alternatively, man, I don't know. I think the sign has got a point. But few people actually look behind the sign and see that the donkey and the elephant are sleeping in the same bed and giving each other big, sloppy fucking blowjobs all night long. And when either of them is just about to come, they pull out and blow their fat load right on America's tits. Every time you see an obvious schizophrenic wearing dirty rags and roaming around the streets screaming about Drew Carey, you're Drew Carey, everyone's Drew Carey. You know what that is? That's a big load of bipartisan jizz right in your fucking eyeballs. Because neither party is solving that problem. Neither party cares to even try. They're too busy making sure that their billionaires and their multinational corporations don't have to pay too much in taxes. They're too busy making sure Goldman Sachs is going to be okay. Basically, the way it works is if you're already rich and powerful, the government will bend over backwards to help you. If you're poor, you'll be lucky to get grocery money out of the fuckers. Big business in this country has pulled a great fucking scam. They've put themselves in a position where they fund the political system and keep all the politicians fat and fed. And in exchange, your congressman will pass whatever laws they want. If there's a law Wall Street doesn't like, they can get rid of it. If there's a law Wall Street wants, they can pass it. And the American people don't do shit. That's why a man can go to prison for life for stealing a pizza because of stupid 3 strikes laws, but an executive that poisons people or refuses to recall a dangerous product that he knows is deadly or swindles people out of money with deceptive loans or whatever, he's not going to jail. You'll be lucky if he even has to pay a fine. Oh, $2 million fine? Okay, I'll put that on my fucking American Express if you don't mind. Now, if you need me, I'll be on my yacht getting blown by models. A rich person can leave a trail of human devastation in their wake and get a fucking slap on the wrist. Unless they fuck over another rich person, of course, like Bernie Madoff. Remember Bernie Madoff? He went to jail, sure, because he didn't fuck over ordinary people. He fucked over other rich people. So he had to go to jail. If he'd ripped off a bunch of Joe Six-Pack motherfuckers, he'd be chilling out in his penthouse with a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader riding his fucking face right now. And I'm not some liberal goon who thinks rich people are like inherently bad, okay? Some people do deserve to be rich. Some people have created and contributed so much that they have earned a life of luxury. But what I'm saying is 2 basic things. 1, wealth shouldn't be able to buy government influence. And 2, wealth shouldn't be something generated by swindles, hustles, and scams that are only legal because of the influence that money has on politics. Because when we think of great entrepreneurs as Americans, we think of people who fucking make things. People who create a product or a service that people want or people need. But now, tons of people get rich manipulating markets, fiddling around with derivatives, selling intangible bullshit to stupid people. You can become rich now without a product to sell, without a sliver of ingenuity in your entire fucking being. And that's bullshit. But guess what? Trump isn't the problem here. And he's not the solution either. If you want to truly make America great again, then you have to snap out of the spell that's been cast on you. You have to be an independent who focuses not on the cult of personality figureheads that get shuffled around in front of you, but who instead holds in his or her mind a vision of the future that you want and what it takes to get there. And on some issues, you will find allies who disagree with you on other issues. Friends today might be enemies tomorrow. Take me and PZ Myers, for instance. Now, we were never friends, but I heard through the grapevine back in the early days of new atheism that he liked what I was doing. And you know what? I liked what he was doing too. I read his blog. I thought it was cool. We agreed on atheism. We both viewed religion as a detriment to societal progress and the acceptance of scientific fact. But then the feminist issue came along and that divided us, and now we hate each other's guts because he thinks I'm some kind of rape-supporting, misogynist, fucking racist piece of shit, and I think he's a cucked little pussy bitch who simpers and whines. But if tomorrow religion made this big fucking resurgence and we had to join together to fight religion again, I would do it because personalities are not as important in the long run as ideas. Now, to give you a more contemporary example, my buddy Kyle Kalinske over at Secular Talk is right now working with Bernie Sanders Democrats to reform the Democratic Party and change their agenda to something more in line with what Bernie Sanders campaigned on. It's called Justice Democrats. Now, I've read their platform and I agree with 80 to 90% of it, but you know who else is involved in the project? Cenk Uygur. And I don't like him. I think he's a cretin and an asshole, and if he even bothers to let me cross his mind, he probably feels the same way. But if that movement to reform the Democrats was successful to any extent, I'd be happy to shake Cenk's fucking big buffalo hand. Well, buffaloes have hooves, but this buffalo has hands. I'd be happy to shake his hand on that one, because even if I don't like him on a personal level and I think he's intellectually dishonest and a bitch, we can work together. Why can't we? We can work together where we can agree. I can cheerlead him where we agree. I can stand with him where we agree. And that's a mentality that I think more people need to adopt. We have to look past this, oh, I don't like Trump, or oh, I don't like so-and-so. Doesn't matter what you don't like. It matters what you think and what you want for yourself and for this world and for this country. And if you only want to be a joiner, and you only want to oppose who you're told to oppose and support who you're told to support, then you're barely a thinking human being in my book. You're a hack, you're a drone, you're a pawn. Wake up! I know that gets made fun of, like, oh, so woke. No, seriously though, wake the fuck up. Wake up! Think for yourself. Follow the true passions of your fucking heart and mind, and let reason be your guide. Don't accept a shitty dogma that requires you to lie to yourself and all those around you. So I'm not, in my opinion, soft on Trump. I'm just able to focus beyond the smoke screen that he is. I'm TJ Kirk. If you enjoy my channel, please subscribe and rate, and most of all, please share this video and others that I produce. Peace the fuck out.